world champions. Welcome to Rugby Talk with Sami, aka your fellow world champion. Iko mi boka, huka chaka. Boka, ye boko, chaka. Anyway, I'm sorry for that. Before we get started with the recap of the Rugby World Cup and my analysis, we first have an important word from Sami Mercury. Sami?
We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers. Because we are the champions of the world. 4 times. Back to you, Sami.
Thank you for that, Sami. Very dramatic, but beautiful nonetheless. Thank you. Anyway, let's get serious for a minute. Guys, we are the champions of the world, alright? And it doesn't matter how many times other people cries into their pistachios, it's not going to change the facts of the matter, which is that the World Cup is back in South Africa where it bloody belongs. What did I think of the final, you may ask? Well, I thought it was a brilliant piece of rugby between 2 top-tier teams. And in my opinion, the 2 best teams in the world. Alright? I feel like it's a fact. You can just look at the history of the World Cup and you must come to the same conclusion. Now, you can say there was teams that were better. Ireland was better. France was better. They were fantastic. No World Cups though. I'm not being shady. I'm just saying. Anyway, I really enjoyed the game. I thought it was a brilliant piece of rugby. And before the game, I said, you know what? All I want, of course I want to win. Of course, that goes without saying. But all I'm hoping for is for a good game between 2 good teams and fair officiating. If that is the case, whatever the result is, I can live with it. And I feel like I got exactly what I asked for. Personally, I think this was the best officiating team we've seen in the World Cup. So, obviously, during the game, I wasn't on social media. I wasn't perusing Facebook or anything. I was focused on the game. And after the game, when I went online and I saw some of the drama and people complaining and backlash, I was disappointed and confused. Because after the game I just watched, I didn't expect that. But I guess that's every World Cup. That's every big game. It's always going to go like that. But after the game that I saw, I thought it was a brilliant game. I thought it was fair officiating. You will never get a perfect officiating team. I don't think that is possible. But I feel like this is the best we can hope for. And he was fair and really no major issues from my side. And whether you believe me or not, I would have the same opinion if we were the ones who lost with 1 point. But whatever, you're going to believe what you want. Now, every time I go onto the social media, you will find someone who complains about being robbed. Someone from some country. I'm so tired of it. We've been robbed. Robbed! I've been robbed! I'm like, relax, okay? That's just what happens in South Africa. We have gotten used to it a bit. What I like to do is I carry around pepper spray. You might want to try that. Alternatively, go and report the robbery to your nearest police station. Just remember to take your own pen. I'm making a little bit of jokes because I'm annoyed. I feel like people are peeing on my parade and it's not on. Anyway, let's get into the game. There's a lot of questions and a lot of complaints. And I feel like I need to talk about them. I don't want to have discussions about refs and cards and that type of business. But it's on everyone's mouths. So let's get into it. First of all, the extreme anger towards the TMO. What it sounds like to me is that you are not upset that the TMO made the wrong call. You are upset that he noticed a mistake and said something. Do I have that right? That is silly. It's very, very bloody silly, alright? It gives sour grapes, in my opinion. You see, the thing is, everyone always complains and says with the technology we have now, it should minimize things being missed or calls being wrong. We have the technology, they should use it. But then when they use the technology, you also complain. Now, if you are a New Zealand fan who is upset about that first try being disallowed, ask yourself and be honest. If it was the other way around, would you still be upset? I am willing to say no, for a fact. You wouldn't have been upset. Because the thing is, it's not a mistake that you needed to go and search for. The moment that knock-on happened, everyone in the room that I was in jumped up at the same time and yelled, "Knock on! Knock on, ref! Maak op jou way, knock on!" Exactly like that. Except there was a few swear words. Why did the TMO take so long to talk about it? I don't know. I get that. It's stupid. He should have immediately said it. I don't know how the ref or the line person missed it because it was right there. But at the end of the day, they are also people. So what you are angry about is that you didn't get a try or a clear knock-on. It wasn't a try. Let's get over that. Then just after that, you scored a try that stood. And that also came from a knock-on. Okay? First, a forward pass. Some people would call it a flat pass. To me, it looked forward, but whatever. Then a clear knock-on. We have the benefit of a line being just there, where you can see where it left his hand and where it landed. And it can't be a forward, like, hop from the ground, because it went forward before it touched the ground. Definite knock-on. But that's the name of the game. And when the referee gives a try on the field, the TMO can only overrule it if there's like proper in-your-face evidence, like with the first knock-on. This one was a bit like you have to go and re-watch the footage a couple of times to be very sure. So whatever, the try stood. Congratulations. Wasn't a try, it was a knock-on, but you got the try. So why are you crying? Alright? And the TMO and the ref didn't miss the kicks. I don't want to hammer on it because that's the type of shit that happens. Shit happens. And in our game against Ireland, I feel like the ref didn't do a good job, but we missed a bunch of kicks. Can't go and blame the ref for our missed opportunities. Alright? I don't want to have these conversations because I feel like it takes away from a brilliant game of rugby and two brilliant teams. And it could have gone either way the whole time. And now we're busy having these stupid discussions. Get over it, okay? A try was not awarded because it wasn't a try, there was a knock-on. Then you got a try, also from a knock-on, but it was awarded. So, you know, you have nothing to complain about in this regard. Then let's quickly talk about some people claiming that the ref admitted to making a mistake and then decided to not reverse the penalty in any case. That goes to show how people can twist things. You know, twist things just to fit their narrative. Because that's not what happened, alright? What happened was there was a penalty for not releasing the ball. Okay. Then the dude came and spoke to the ref and said, I did release the ball. You can see it on the replay. And the ref said, sorry, mate, I didn't look at the replay. I did not see you releasing the ball enough. I didn't see you get off the ball enough. Now, is it fair? No, the game is not always fair. It's the same like when you get penalized for not rolling away, but there's a dude laying on top of you. You can't roll away, but you get penalized because you as a player have to make a moorse show out of trying to roll away. You have to clearly release the ball so that the ref can see you release the ball. It's one of those rules. It's not always fair, and you might go and from different angles see that he did release the ball, but it wasn't clear enough for the ref to make that call on the field. It's the same thing if you say now, I can go look at a couple of angles and see that your try was not a try, but it was awarded, okay? Some you win, some you lose. There's never going to be perfect officiating, but in this case it was fair and concise, alright? I need people to relax now. Okay, anyway, the cards. A lot of people are complaining because 4 cards in a World Cup final. How's that possible? And somehow they're making that also the ref and the TMO's problem. It is not, okay? Yes, I agree, it's got to have 4 cards in a final, but all 4 the cards was supposed to be the cards that they were. It's not the ref that committed the foul, and just because we are in a final doesn't mean we must now be more lenient on the rules or ignore things because we don't want to give a card in a final. Doesn't work like that. And the fact that there was mistakes made and fouls made is because of the fact that we put so much pressure on each other, which is a good thing. You don't want to see the cards, you don't want to see discipline problems, but it's going to creep in high pressure games. It's just one of those things. I'm quickly going to run through the 4 cards just so we can get some clarity on that, and then I would like to move into what I thought was a brilliant piece of rugby. First of all, the first yellow card for New Zealand, the Shannon yellow card. The problem with that is he put his entire weight down on Bongi's legs. It's not an exaggeration because Bongi was injured, he had to leave the field. And that is some of those things that makes the game sometimes a bit unfair, but it's how it is. Because now Shannon went off for 10 minutes, Bongi was out for the rest of the game. And Bongi was a key part of our game plan, and not having him there definitely had an effect on our game. It's not anyone's problem. If you get an injury on one of your players, you need to readjust and move on. But it's one of those things. Bongi was out the rest of the game, screwed our line-outs, which again, I'm not looking for excuses. We needed to step up and readjust, but it definitely had an effect. So Bongi out the rest of the game. A lot of people ask me, do I think that was on purpose? I don't know how to answer that question because I said before, I have tremendous respect for the New Zealand team. I love the New Zealand team. They are our biggest rivals and it's a respectful rivalry. I don't want to believe that it was a pre-planned type of situation. I don't think so. Whether or not it was malicious in the moment, the guy saw an opportunity and went for it. Also, I don't want to believe that. It's possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. To me, it kind of looked like there was intent there, but it's a fast-paced game, it's a hard game, shit happens. So in this case, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to New Zealand. Wasn't on purpose, it's one of those things that happens. Cock for South Africa, a little bit of bad luck, we lost Bongi, but it's one of those things. Should have been a yellow card, no arguments here. Now the Kane red card, the infamous Kane red card. Guys, it's a red card any day, every day. I don't know why we are arguing about that, because Kane, and I like him by the way, like I like the whole New Zealand team, and I don't think he's a dirty player in general, alright? But he went straight into Jesse Creel's face with his shoulder. He didn't bend at the hips, he wasn't hinged over, he didn't go for a legal tackle and accidentally touch the head. He went with force straight into Creel's face, okay? Creel could have broken his nose, or worse, like he could have snapped his fucking neck. It's a dangerous tackle, with pressure straight to the head. Red card. Now, a lot of people are confused about how it works, and is angry at the TMO, but the way it works, the ref on the field gives a yellow card and the TMO has 8 minutes to decide whether it gets upgraded to red or does it stay at yellow. And they don't just willy-nilly decide what they feel like. They have a list that they go through, asking questions and then getting to the result. And any day, any game, that is a red card. I wasn't happy about it, whether you believe me or not. I wasn't happy about it. We don't want to see red cards, especially not in a final. But it is a red card, valid, fair. I feel like the player took responsibility. He knew he jaaged a bit of kak on, and he was like, that's something I have to live with, because it's not something I want to be known for. He took responsibility. Some fans just needs to open their eyes and also take responsibility. It's just one of those things. I feel like, and that is why New Zealand is a different breed. Yeah, I have so much respect for this team, because you would think in a final with 14 men, it would fuck up your game. And I feel like it fueled on New Zealand. At no point in the rest of that game did it look like New Zealand only has 14 players on the field. They are brilliant. And all of this cock talking is taking away from the performance that they had. It was a massive performance with 14 men. So, flipping all the props in the world. Let's move on to Kulisi's yellow card. Guys, it's not the same type of tackle as the cane tackle. I made a video about this already, but the big difference is Siya Kolisi was hinged, bended, he went for a legal tackle, and in the momentum, his head touched the player's head. Not the same. He wasn't with force going into the guy's face without bending down. Yellow card. Through and through. No questions. And comparing the two is quite silly because it's not the same thing. You can look at the two clips side by side and you will see the difference. Okay. Then the last yellow card, our Colby. I felt so sorry for him. I felt sorry for everyone who got carded. It's not what you want to see and it's a pity. And in the dying, final minutes, Colby had to go off and I felt bad for him. But it's a yellow card. A deliberate knock on, and I wasn't angry at him because in that stressful situations and when you are so pressured, sometimes you just make a cock choice. Just like that. And his hand went without him even thinking about it. So, deliberate knock on, it is a yellow card. No arguments here. Now that we got that behind us, let's talk about the game. I see a lot of people who think the Springboks didn't play well, or that New Zealand was robbed, or New Zealand left points on the field, otherwise they could have easily won. You can play what if what all day long. I think this was a brilliant game of rugby, honestly. And from the beginning, the intensity that the Springboks brought, especially in the first half, it was insane. And I didn't expect that after the England game. Because say what you want, South Africa by far had the biggest and heaviest hill to climb to get to this final. We played the top 6 teams. Well, number 2 to 6 because we are number 1. We played all the top teams. It was like a final after a final after a final. It was tough and we had great competition. By the time we did England, we lost a bit of our intensity and you could see the guys were tired. And when they called the 7-1 bench split, a lot of people assumed that it's going to be a slow game. One rugby commentator, Kakop, said it's going to be a snooze fest. But it was intense and they came to play rugby and it was beautiful. And I don't think New Zealand underestimated the Springboks. I don't think they ever do. But I don't think they were expecting that level of intensity. I just don't. And before the game, one of my friends made this point, which makes a lot of sense, né? I don't think New Zealand in this World Cup have felt what it's like to be tackled at that rate. I don't think anyone can prepare any team for the Springboks defense. Top class, the best defensive team in the world, no doubt. And just because you don't see a million tries doesn't mean that the Springboks is not playing well. Our defense, guys, and our intensity in that first half was beautiful to see. They had a specific game plan. They were fine with letting New Zealand have the possession because they were ready to tire them out with our defence. Like one moment you think you got it and then you get hit by a Pieter-Steph the toy-sized truck, and nothing can prepare you for that. Obviously not all positives. We did have a massive problem with our lineouts. I think we won more of New Zealand's lineouts than our own. But I definitely think losing Bongi so early on had an effect. But no excuses, the lineouts were weak, something we need to work on. There was times that we didn't quite capitalize on opportunities, and sometimes it was just a spot of bad luck. Like sometimes things goes your way, sometimes it doesn't. The orange try, that wasn't a try, obviously. The almost orange try would have been epic. Like that was such a great play. The way he ran past there by the line, like whoop whoop. Oh, that would have been beautiful. I felt so sorry for him. Should have been a try. But then the TMO came and made him lose that. I'm just being a little sarcastic. That try would have been amazing, but you know, so it goes. Pollard, guys, it's not just that he kicks well. Like he had a brilliant, especially in the final, he had a brilliant game. I just want to know, Pollard, if you're watching this, who cut at your face like that? Please let me know. I just want to talk to them. I'm kidding. It's a brutal game. Shit's gonna happen. But yeah, I was so impressed by him. And obviously Pieter-Steph the toy, like the standout player for this entire World Cup in my opinion. Fell a bit flat in England, but everyone did, to be honest. But I honestly think Pieter-Steph the toy is the man of the World Cup. Hands down. The way, like, he's everywhere. And sometimes as viewers, it's very easy for us to see the standout players when it comes to your backline, when it comes to wingers, the people kicking the goals and scoring the points. It's easy to see their brilliance. But the workhorses is often missed. And yeah, Pieter-Steph the toy is just everywhere. You think you have the ball and then fuck all, I will hit you hard. And if you get up, I'll hit you again. Legally. Anyway, I was really, I enjoyed the Springboks performance. Obviously, there's room for improvement. No one can have a perfect game. But all in all, the way we played rugby in that final was beautiful to me. The intensity we had, the tackles, the defense, like, it's easy for some people to say something like, you couldn't even score a try against a 14-man All Black team. Like, so what? So what? We came close a couple of times, didn't quite capitalize. We still won. And you don't just win games by getting points. You also win games by not allowing the other side to get points. Our defensive line is impeccable. And you can what if until you are purple in the face, but that was what the outcome was. Now let's move on to New Zealand. Guys, like I said, different breed. Like a big chunk of the game was played with 14 men. And at no point did it look like there's only 14 men on the field. What a class team. And they matched our intensity. Unfortunately, they left a few points on the field. They missed 2 kicks, which I'm not hammering on because shit happens, alright? In the Ireland game, where I feel like the ref was a bit questionable, but we missed kicks. We left points on the field, and that is why we lost. Can't blame the ref for that. And I feel like it's the same here. But it's not just that. It's just that it was 2 equally matched teams with equal intensities, and who is equally good, just going at it. Anything could happen at any point. Unfortunately for New Zealand, they left some points on the field by missing a conversion and missing a penalty. It's not like something they do. Like with the penalty, I was sitting there all stressed out and I was being unsportsmanlike because I was like, please miss. Please miss. But I was saying it knowing that it's not going to happen. And my friend said, he never misses. And he missed. What? It was a shocker. But it happened. And it's not the TMO's fault. It's not the ref's fault. You know? Anyway, I felt like New Zealand had a fantastic game, especially considering they got a red card. And, you know, the two teams gave each other like an epic battle. I was very disappointed in the backlash because I really have nothing negative to say about that final. I felt like it was a fantastic final. I would say the same if it was us losing with 1 point. It was a fantastic final. My thoughts on the reasons, because there's people who think South Africa don't deserve the World Cup. Fuck you, first of all. We do. There's a couple of things that I think puts South Africa ahead. And number one, it's the team. We don't rely on individual standout players. We have a team that works together. It's not just that they are colleagues and co-workers and they play together. They are family. I've never seen another team, and I don't think any other overseas team has that brotherhood. And obviously I'm talking from the South African point of view. It's what I'm seeing. But the love those guys have for each other, you can see from a mile away. The love, the respect, the brotherhood. And I think that is a massive plus for South Africa, because they don't go out there to shine as individuals. They go out there as a team and they play for each other. They take energy off each other. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see. And that teamwork, they are best as a team. Also, their love for family and their love for South Africa. They are playing for something more than just a cup. They are playing for their country, and they know how much we need a win. Alright, because we don't have much that we can be proud of. So they know how important it is. And finally, the one thing, and I'm not starting a debate here, this is my opinion. If you don't agree, that's fine, your business. My opinion, our Springbok team prays together, and it gives me hoendervleis every time. They always give all the glory to God. They don't look at me, I'm so great. They thank God for their opportunities and for their talents, and they use every opportunity to worship Him, and they pray together. And that for me is one of the strongest things that we have, is that belief, that passion, and that love of God. My opinion. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the Rugby World Cup final. I really enjoyed it. It was great. A lot of negativity around it, but I'm guessing that's how it's always going to be. Doesn't matter what happens, people will be mad. It's just how it is. I 100% think that this team deserved to be world champions. They are world champions, and we are so proud of them, and I'm happy. I'm very, very happy. I'm trying to let all the other nonsense fall off my back like a eense water. I can't remember the saying, but you know what I mean. I'm leaving all the negativity behind, and I'm just enjoying it. Anyway, thank you, New Zealand, for an epic battle. Last thing, okay, it doesn't matter what your thoughts are, or if you're going to continue believing that you were robbed, or whatever, okay? But sending death threats to a ref. Not only that, sending threats to his wife of being sexually abused and sending threats to his children. That is disgusting. And that is not a rugby fan, alright? I have been mad at refs before, alright? Couple of times. Never have I sent any of them a death threat. I've made jokes or grappies about it. Never have I sent one a death threat. Never have I contacted his wife to threaten her with the thing that women fears most in the world, or threaten his children. What is wrong with you? You need to do some introspection, alright? It's fine in your heart if you blame the ref, even though in this case you are wrong, but whatever, believe what you want. But the moment you start threatening people with violence, you need to look at yourself very long and hard, because you are a kakkop, to say the least, okay? do what you want, think what you want, but, be respectful. And remember that refs are people. Mistakes is going to be made. There's never in the history been a game where there was no questionable calls or things that got missed. It's going to happen. Okay, no, that is a bit much. Alright? And then finally, South Africa is the champions of the world. You need to deal with it. It's what it is. And I don't know how anyone can look at this South African team, look at the history of this country, look at the passion and the love, and look at the people, and have so much hate for us. We are delightful. Alright? I get that you wanted to win. Get it. I get it if you were heartbroken. Get it. Alright? I don't get that you have hate for us because, like I said, delightful. But don't threaten people. Alright? And don't commit violence. That is a bit much. Now, okay. That is all I have to say today. Congratulations, Springboks. We love you. We are proud of you. And let's start working towards 2027. Is that too soon to say? Probably. Take a rest. Have a rest. Alright? And then, now it's time to focus on the Cricket World Cup. I have been ignoring them a bit because I was focused on rugby. Today, South Africa, the Proteas are playing New Zealand. Let's see what happens there. Let's hope that the Proteas can break their Ireland curse. You know the curse Ireland has with rugby? We have that curse with cricket. Let's hope we can break all that business. Anyway, Proteas, we are standing behind you. Let's do this. Now, right, chat again later. Bye-bye.